In this demonstration, we're going to look at installing and configuring the software update point. First thing we need to do is we need to set up some prerequisites on what will eventually become our software update point. So I've logged into my server, I've come into computer management, and one of the things I need to do is I just need to add some permissions. What I'm going to do here is I'm just going to go to local users and groups, go to groups, and what I want to do here for administrators is just on my software update point server is I just need to add the config manager site server as an administrator. So we'll come to object types, we'll just come to computers, turn on the tick box, click OK, and then we'll do a search for our server, which in my case is lon-cfg. We'll check the name, select OK again, and we've now added the server to the administrators group. And then the final thing to do here is just ensure that we do actually have wsus installed on this server. And as we can see, we do have wsus installed. The next thing to do is to now actually add the site role. So we'll come back to our config manager server. Just in the System Center Configuration Manager console, we'll come down to administration. Below administration, we'll come to site configuration. And then within site configuration, we'll just go to our servers and site system roles. And what we want to do at this point here is we want to create a new site system server. That's going to bring us into a wizard. So what we want to do here is we just want to browse through and we just want to locate our wsus server. So that should come back with lon-svr, and what we're doing here is we're going for server 1 and selecting OK. Select OK again, and what we want to do is we want to add this to site S01. Not going to bother specifying a fully qualified domain name or require the site server to initiate connections, and we will use the server's computer account to install the site system. We'll select next. Just on the proxy information, we'll select next. What we're going to do here is we're installing a software update point, and select next again. Then what we need to do here is we're actually using a Windows 2012 server, so we'll go for the 2012 option. I'm not going to require SSL, and I am going to allow internet-only client connections, so we'll select next. Just on the proxy settings, we're not going to bother modifying any of them, so we'll select next. On the synchronize server settings, I don't have internet connectivity inside these virtual machines, so I'm going to say do not synchronize from Microsoft Update or upstream servers. I'm not going to bother creating any reports, so we'll select next again. Just on my synchronization schedule, I'm not going to enable synchronization on the schedule. I don't have internet connectivity, so just select next. Just on my supersedence rules, all we'll do here is we will immediately expire any superseded software updates, and then we'll select next. Then in my classifications, all I want for my classifications is I'm going to go for critical updates, I'm going to go for definition updates, and security updates, and I'm just going to deselect everything else and select next. Now I'm not going to select any products at this point, and that's purely because Windows 10 and Office 2016 will be first available after the initial synchronization, and I'm actually going to select them in a later demonstration. So we'll select next. In the case of my language, I'm only going to go for English. So I've deselected all the other languages. We'll select our next button. Then what we'll do on the summary page, have a quick read through. So we've read through that, so we'll select next again. It'll progress through. Quickly again read through the completion statistics and select close. Now this is going to take a little while just to install the update point. So at this point here, what we'll do is we'll just pause the demonstration and return back once the installation is complete. So what we'll do now is we'll just verify the installation. So all we're going to do is come to our monitoring workspace. Within our monitoring workspace, we'll go to component status. And what we're looking for here is we're just looking for our SMS wsus control manager component. So we'll just highlight that component. And all we'll do is just right click, we'll just show the messages. We'll have a look at all messages. Click our OK button. And what we're looking for is we're looking for a 1015 message. We have our 1015 message. So the next thing to do is come to our software library. So within our software library, what we're going to do now is we're just going to go to our software updates node. And within our software updates node, All we'll do here is go for all software updates. We'll right click, and what we'll do is we'll synchronize the software updates now. We'll say yes to this. Now this is going to take a little while for this to occur, so at this point what we'll do is we'll pause the demonstration and return back once the synchronization is complete. I've just returned back momentarily, so all I've done here is I've just opened up my SCCM.log file just to show the contents of this file. So as we can see now, we are now actually synchronizing the updates back across the server. So again, what we'll do is we'll just wait a few minutes, just wait for synchronization to complete, and then return back to the demonstration. So as we can see now, sync has succeeded. So what we've done here is we've synchronized across all the updates. So we can close down this log file now. And then what we'll also do as well is we'll just close down Explorer. Next thing to do is we'll just come across to our site configuration settings. So we'll come into our administration, come to our sites at this point. What we should now have is we've got our S01 datum site. So what we're going to do at this point here, we're going to configure some site components. So we'll just right click and we'll come down to configure site components, and the site components we want to configure will be our software update point. What we're going to do here is we're just going to go to products, and under products we're going to look for Office 2016 and also as well Windows 10. So we'll scroll this down. There's Office 2016, so we'll have that, and then finally what we'll have as well is we'll also have Windows 10. So there's our Windows 10. Now we've done all of this, all we'll do is we'll select OK. We'll just move back to our software library, go back to our software updates, and now what we want to do here is we just want to do another synchronize because we want to pull across those Windows 10 and Office 2016. We'll say yes to this, and again this is going to take a few minutes, so what we'll do at this point is we'll just pause the demonstration and return back once the synchronization is complete. And then what we'll do is we'll come down to monitoring, and within our monitoring workspace what we'll look for here is we'll just have a look down here, and we're just looking for our software update point synchronization status. So we'll scroll this down, click on our software update point synchronization, and as you can see here everything's good. We now have a tick in place. We'll just come back to our software library, and within our software library all we'll do here is look at our all software updates, and as we can see now we have a big list of software updates available. Now what we'll do is we'll set up the client settings. So if we just come to administration, if we just go to our client settings, and if we just go to our default client settings and right click and have a look at the properties, and what we're looking for here is we're just looking for, if we have a look down here, our software updates. So as we can see here, we've enabled software updates on the clients. Software scan will occur every 7 days. Deployment reevaluation every 7 days. And when any software deadline is reached, install all other software update deployments. Specified as no. And the period of time which all pending deployments with a deadline will also be installed. We'll leave that as the 1 hour as the default. Even though that's set to no, this really doesn't have any effect unless we change this to yes. So we're happy with all of these settings here, so we can click OK. And the final thing to do now is just go to our client, and on our client all we're going to do at this point here is we're just going to pull through the policies from Configuration Manager. So in order to do that, all I'm going to do here is I'm just going to come to my actions, and on my actions I'm going to go to start with the machine policy retrieval and evaluation cycle. So we'll run that now. We'll just give that a couple of minutes, and then what we'll do is we'll run the software update scan cycle as well. And then we'll just click on our software update scan cycle, and we'll just run this now as well. And we'll select OK. We'll also run our software update deployment evaluation cycle, and we'll also run that one as well. And we'll select OK. And that's the end of this demonstration of installing the software update point. Thank you.